I thought today was a good work day. Got pads back on for some of the older guys. Really got some speed of the game. You're still a little bit shorter practice. A little modified work, but I thought they came out with good spirit. I thought there were some good plays or some things we got to clean up from today. But I like the competitiveness that showed up. Had more group work. We got some individual. We've been really pushing that the last few days, and today we got more speed on speed work. We'll do the same thing tomorrow. Trying to get that competitiveness. Flying around. But I thought the guys really had a good day. I like the energy which I saw. And we got to come back and finish up this weekend before these guys get a little bit of time off. But all in all, good day.
When you look at some of the guys who have been working scout team during the season, and now they come back and do kind of folds, are you seeing growth from some of them?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's guys that, and we saw that through the year. We try to keep as many of the developmental practices Sunday night. This year was a little weird just with so many late games in prime time where we had to come back and, had to make some adjustments just to the calendar. But we've had a lot of good developmental work throughout the season. These guys, we've got a really talented group. And, I mean, you look at that young defensive line group, you look at guys like Omar Graham, I thought he's flashed to me the last couple of days. I really like what I'm seeing there. Some of the young offensive linemen that are pushing some of the young tight ends. I mean, those guys are getting more opportunities and more work. So it's good to be able to get that get these opportunities. Some guys that were on scout team, and then also some guys that were maybe just a little bit in the depth. You got like Rodney Hill, who had to be prepared all year, but you just continue to see him get better and what he brings to this team. Kazaya, who we talked about yesterday. I mean, it's good work for all those guys.
Do you see like a little more? Is there kind of a loose kind of vibe around these kind of practices where you see guys taking more chances? The defense has been a little bit more energy. Is there a different kind of rhythm to the post?
No, I mean, we're still trying to focus on fundamentals, trying to focus on details, calls. I want that competitive spirit. I want guys to be able to go compete. And I mean, there's good teachable moments, and there were a couple that we had a couple poor decisions. Things just to be able to correct on a lot of different things, whether it's routes, whether it's coverages, communication, footwork, fundamentals. All those things are you've got to play with spirit to be able to put yourself within that mentality to go and get better. Ultimately what we want, and I thought that was good today. I mean, there was plays made on both sides of the ball, which you want to see. This is a talented football team, offensively and defensively, and so when you should see plays being made on both sides of the ball. So I thought that was good, but you definitely things we're going to have to clean up for tomorrow.
Have any players shared plans to opt out of the bowl game?
Not all things of what's happening with the bowl. We'll go through that process as we get a little closer. Everybody's here and working, so I've not had anybody say that they're not playing yet. But we'll see how that goes. We've had guys that I didn't even ask what they were doing yet, and they've already declared that they're playing. So we're going to prepare these practices leading up. It's all focused on us, and that's what I like. That's what I'm saying. I've got a lot of guys. I would expect a high majority of our team to be ready and to participate in this game. We've got some guys that got banged up. They're late. That we'll see where they are. We have a couple guys that have hit their 4 games in their season, and so unless there's any last-minute declaration from NCAA, they probably won't play, or they won't play. So we're going to be smart with some of that.
How challenging is this time of year now? They went to the early signing period a few years ago. Now you have the portal open this week, and bowl practice.
I didn't notice. Yeah.
There's a lot.
That's what my message to the coaches this morning. I mean, you get off the road, and I mean, it's been a stretch. And I mean, we work. We don't. I mean, our coaches, we push just like we ask our players to push. And you get on the road, and you're tired. You get probably all your feelings that you're working through, and then we have a big recruiting weekend. Obviously we got practices. I mean, you got to be in the moment, and that's what I share with the coaches. You come out here today, and they better see your best. Because if we're going to ask them to be their best when they get here, get your butt up and let's go. And so when we get recruits here, it's an opportunity to showcase all the great things of this university, put on display who we are. It's not about it's not a presentation. It's an opportunity. And so these kids, these families that are here, I just want them to see genuinely who we are. And like I say it all the time, we're finding the best fit. and you guys that see the culture, see the mentality of how we operate and what we do, that's got to show up. They want to be a part of that. They fit that, then that's when you get a chance to do something special and bringing together a team, and that's what we're living out. And so it is a lot, but you got to be in the moment. And this morning was practice. This afternoon will be. We'll be recruiting. Tomorrow morning, we'll finish that up and then get back out on the practice field, and then I'll be on a plane as fast as I can get off this practice field tomorrow, just to be able to get on the road and finish up this last week of contact period.
On that note, do you ever have a second thought before you get on to somebody that recruits are watching?
Absolutely not. I mean, if that's the case, then you're fake. And I will not be that. I'm gonna coach guys. I would be cheating our players if it was anything like that. You come out here. That's why I tell the families, the players, they have to see it. Right? If they want to go to a place that's going to be low key and everybody sitting back and slow tempo, like this will not be the place for them. But if they see that, even the finest details of whether it's running on and off a field, if that's important to what we do here, then they get to make the choice if that's what they want to be a part of. And and that's what's helped us. So much of as you go through, it's not about a recruiting presentation. It's about being real to who you are and finding young men and families that want to be a part of that. And then when they come together, you got like-minded individuals that are all going to push and work to be together. And I think that's what you see with the culture that's been established, and how these guys have been able to overcome because of that.
How much of this month is like you and your coaches or your behind-the-scenes guys with roster breakdown for next year? Because you've got 85 spots. There's a lot of math that comes into it.
No, I mean it's a daily conversation, and we have part of the expansion of our personnel a year ago was to be prepared for a lot of the things that we had experienced last year, and that we I think we did a good job with in being able to transition a lot of things in our roster, and it's during our bye week, myself, Derek Ray, we put a lot of time into that. Potential guys leaving, potential guys, what positions do we want to? Are we looking to sign? Where we are with high school recruits? What potential positions in the transfer portal would we look at, or junior college players? And so all those things are discussions year round. But at this point, I mean, it's got to be. I mean, it's a daily discussion, and I was telling a few guys yesterday. I mean, this is the first year that as I've been on the road. Derek actually, he is basically with me through all transportation. So, he can't go into a school, he can't go in and see any recruit or any of that. But I mean, he literally, when I'm in a place, he's talking to all the coaches everywhere they're at, and so I'm able to be more coordinated, and efficient during all of my.
So he's with you on the road.
He is.
Just not going.
He's just not. He's just not going in, which I think it's been really good for us. I mean, this is probably one of the more efficient weeks that I've had, but it's also it's a legitimate grind. So just the communication, that's what I thought was really good.
When the portal opened up, a lot of guys entered it, and there's kind of a lull right now. Are you guys having to kind of manage the thought that when the bowls end, it's going to maybe get a little bit more active and more names will be out there?
I mean, you always operate with what you know. And the projections of what could or what might. I mean, every day is an evaluation of where we are, who are we recruiting, and it's high school. I mean, there's some really good high school players that we're on, that we have an opportunity to get here to Florida State, and that's where I want to continue to build this program. We've had some great players that have come in, and you see the development, you see the growth, but there are some positions where where if you can. Maybe get a little bit more experience, or to be able to bridge a gap in where you have great youth, but you also have some guys that are a little bit older. I mean, that's all kind of part of it. I mean, you look at our defensive end position. I think that's one that's really over the last couple of years. I mean, you got Jared Verse this year, who is one of the top vote getters in all ACC, and then on the flip side, you also have a true or a redshirt freshman that's defensive rookie of the year, and so you're able to bridge that gap a little bit for guys as they continue to develop. We'll keep that talent base at a very high level, and you just kind of look at that through all positions.
Have you guys wrapped up your exit interviews with your players, or is that still an ongoing process?
You get a chance to we had every position coach got a chance to meet with all players at their position. Most coordinators met with a majority, and I've met with a good amount of guys that always be meeting with them from time to time. So I guess yes, but that's not always done.
Is there a short answer to why you still have to be able to recruit elite high school players well to build a championship-style roster? Can you rely on the portal to a heavy extent and build what you need?
It's still the right fit. I don't. You look at the roster that you have. I mean, the guys that are returning. Where you're at. I mean, that's how I approach it. And I want to get the best fit for Florida State. Guys that can come in and grow and develop within your culture. Whether it's guys that come in and they're 1 year and they're part of still building the culture. So I don't. It's more of where we are and where we ultimately want to go with the guys that are available. And if I can get a great high school player, that some of them will come in ready to play, some of them will not. But it's still the process of growth. And so there's going to be some teams, especially I wouldn't be shocked to see some teams take 40 guys this year. I mean, that's going to happen. And there's going to be with the NCAA rules, if it's it's absolutely going to be possible this year. So you're going to see some mass transitions in rosters, and everybody's going to approach that a different way. So we'll see how it all goes. All right, thanks guys.
Thank you, Mike.